Oliamo, folks. That's Italian. Mr. Gordon's always talking about his Italian heritage. Italian for let's go, but let's go together. And I've got a guy here who just completed a drive from Michigan to Florida. He's down in Venice Beach. Meet Ray Heron, master distributor of Oliabo.
Well, good evening, Malcolm. Good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be on here with you. I did just have a beautiful drive from my home in northern Michigan to my home in Florida in the wintertime. And boy, the colors are spectacular. God just kind of exaggerated himself in the mountains of West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina. And I just got to tell you, now this may sound corny to all of you, but I just had a sense of deep gratitude for being here with this opportunity called Oliabo. Many of you know my story. I spent almost 17 years working with the Morton brothers, the owners of this opportunity, back in the days when they built the multi-billion-dollar company called Zango. The best 17 years of my life in this industry. I've been doing this for 40 years consistently every day of my life, pretty much. And 32 of those years, I just had phenomenal success. The last 8 years, I often say I kind of felt like Moses did, wandering around in the desert, trying to determine, I just still got a lot of gas left. I'm not a young guy, but I still got a lot of energy. And I thought if I could just find one more opportunity, it'd be the bookend to my career in this industry. And I get a call from Gordon Morton several months back, probably 8 or 9 months ago, about the idea of Oliabo. We discussed the products and what his visions were for this company. And folks, I got to tell you, they don't have to talk about integrity and that kind of thing. They just live it every day. I've known Gordon, his brother, his entire family for more than 30 years. I trust them completely. They're people that know exactly what they're doing in the space of network marketing. They have a lot of business acumen. They know what it's like to grow a very large company. I honestly believe, and this comes from my heart. I mean, I've looked at all the science regarding our products. I mean, we have basically three lines of products that you're going to learn about tonight. But the world is going to, not only are they going to love these products, they're going to want to take them away from us. That's how good they are. When you study the science, I mean, you just can't miss. And I've known my whole career, people are really looking for two things: natural shortcuts to better health, and they're also looking to make more money. And we really have everything people are looking for here. In the arena where we're going to compete, there is no competition. This product line is the way it's formulated, the proprietary concepts that they have, never been done before. It's going to be phenomenal. People are going to be talking about this product around the world, packaged so beautifully in a beautiful little tin can with a little pillow pack. No guesswork on what you're going to take every morning when you load those supplements out in front of you during breakfast. Usually that's the way it is in my family. It's going to be the very first thing that you reach for. We're in the right place at the right time, and I want you to know that. I mean, the best time to build a network marketing business is early on. They haven't turned the switch on. They're going to, and just about probably 10 or 12 days, thereabouts, we're going to go live around the world, and we're going to be able to order these products. So I can't stress, uh, anymore to you how important it is to go and get yourself a handful of people that would like to get involved with us. Doesn't cost a thing. It's free. Just give them your enrollment link, get them involved, put them in front of the information like they're going to hear here tonight. I promise you, it's the time to be here. I look back at my career, the 32 years when I was just hitting the longest ball, really. I mean, just this industry took me from poverty to fortune, if you know my story. And yeah, I developed a few skills along the way, but for the most part, honestly, three out of the four major successes I had, Malcolm, it was because I was early on. I recognized an opportunity before the rest of the world knew about it, started putting a team together. And then when my suspicions were right, it took off like a rocket ship. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. So I don't want any of you to miss it. It's going to be a fun place to be. This is a fun company. You're going to have the most beautiful trips you've ever seen. You're going to be appreciated like you've never been appreciated before. And yes, you're going to be rewarded financially like you've never been rewarded before. Let me encourage you, please don't take it lightly. You know, somebody talked recently about the BLT theory, and I rather liked it, so I'm just stealing it. It's the B, you know, you just talk, give people a call that believe in you. The L is, call the people that like you. The T is call people that trust you. BLT, people that believe in you, people that like you, people that trust you. 25 to 30 to 50, maybe even more than that, of people that fit that category. So I encourage you to get on the phone and talk to them quickly. They have in place right now called the Club Grand. That's the first 1,000 people to get involved with Oliabo. We're closing that window really quickly, probably going to close by tomorrow, would be my guess. So if you want to be, there's going to be lots of perks to be part of the Club Grand, the first 1,000 people to get involved. So if you're not involved, I encourage you to do that tonight. If you got people you want to get involved to be in that elite group, all of them, invite them. Malcolm and I do these every Sunday night, 7 o'clock, like tonight. Every Wednesday night, same Zoom link, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Okay, I've rambled enough. I'm going to turn you over to Mr. Thunder from Down Under, my friend Malcolm Wallace.
Yeah, thanks, Ray. I'm gonna kill some time. You always put me on the spot. Good going, Gordon Morton. Ray just talked about him. So I tell you what, probably all seen this, but if you're a brand new person, where you're at now may not be like what Gordon talks about. Listen really closely to Gordon's vision.
Sometimes it's the simplest ideas that make the biggest difference. A connection to nature, a quiet faith in the greater good, a home grounded in simplicity. It's the quintessential Italian belief that health, happiness, and food naturally intertwine. The belief that these ingredients should be blended with love and care. Now combine this with something just as essential, a belief that every person, regardless of background, deserves to be treated with dignity and respect, and deserves the chance to live up to their fullest potential. Now take this worldview and marry it with a truly unique idea at the right time. Well, that'll make people stop and pay attention. A truly unique idea has the power to change everything. It stands apart. It challenges the ordinary. And in its simplicity, it can move the world forward. That simple formula, love, health, respect, and a singular, simple, extraordinary idea has the power to change lives in our community, in our country, and around the world. Life is short. Timing is everything. And this fall, everything begins.
Oliabo. This is what Gordon spoke about, simplicity. Italian purity meets American purpose, because all of this comes out of the Morton boys, like Ray spoke about. Gordon and Joe over here on the third panel, they were raised in Italy part-time every year. Yes, their mom, you're going to see, came from Italy, immigrated when she was a grown woman. So this whole plan comes out of their knowledge of what happened to them raising in Italy, and then being as grown-ups and in their 50s going back and researching something they had. And look, I just got to say, this is not merch, but I looked in my closet and found something that looks like an olive tree on my shirt. So I put it on. So we got a team. I'm going to spend a lot of time here. Curtis Fulmer, the president, he's Mr. Affiliate. He's like one of the best affiliate guys in the world. Plus, he's also a software engineer and a marketing guru, and he builds companies and sells them, builds companies and sells them. And these boys' paths crossed. It's kind of unusual. They were both in Italy at the same time a couple of years ago, and they were both researching the same thing, the properties of the olive oil and the olive itself. Ashley Brown, you're going to meet her picture of her and see she's a formulator of our skincare. She's known Gordon for 18 years. And I'll give you a hint, gals, all you brand new people who have never been on this Zoom before, I want you to guess. Just take a chance. Maybe put in the chat, guess her age. We'll disclose that. And Adam and the other boys, well, that's for another day. Oliabo. Ray talked about Gordon's vision. Gordon owns a media company. He's made movies. Part of that vision. Remember when if you're old enough, I was born in the 50s. I know plenty of guys on this call, some of the gals, no offense, gals, but in the 50s and the early 60s, man, life was just fabulous, right? Everything was great. Everyone was prosperous. But this is not just the 50s. Notice they got modern technology here. That's the whole theme. That's what this company's graphics about. And it's about you feeling well. You know, if you're on this call and it might be a business opportunity, that's great. Lifestyle. Ray just drove to Florida. You know, Keith McEachran's living on the water in Florida. I live on the water in Pacific Island here. But I tell you what, unless you got your health, and I've had that challenge where my health failed me, not that great. So besides having fun, we want you to have health. We want you to make money. And we're going to do it so simple. And it began in Italy. Here's Gordon and Joe's mom. This is right when she started her voyage as an immigrant to North America. And then Treviso is where she's from. And every year the family went back to Treviso. And as little boys growing up and all their relatives, and you saw that clip of Gordon, that's them back over there. They stay on an olive farm. And when they're there, Gordon and his brother noticed their relatives. And as time went on, there was a big difference between the father's relatives being Canadian and the mother's relatives being Italian, and how they seemed to outpace them. They didn't age. That's what started the whole thing. What happened? They did a deep dive into olive oil. Now, this, you know, most people go, what the heck is that? Is that something out of a neon light? No, it's what high phenolic, that's a new word. So you write it down, look it up. High phenolic extra virgin olive oil looks like right when it's pressed. See, most people, when they're, we have a good, real big builder out of Australia, Driss, that I bought on, he's Moroccan. He has his own olive grove in Morocco still. And I noticed when he was showing me the pictures and the clips of picking it, that the olive's black by then. The key to this, high phenolic extra virgin olive oil, and how we get the ingredients out of it is when the time that you're picking it. Long before most people pick the olive, cold pressing it within a certain amount of hours of it being picked very quickly. And this is what you get. And the key, I think, to this is, you know, when I saw it for the first time, I just went, wow. It's right in the beginning in Genesis. It's all throughout that whole book. It's one of the most important botanicals. And modern science now is teamed up. And it's only been the very last short while. And it's like a hot subject. I remember when Ray was with that other company and Keith and I were with another company, you know, and we were in the juice wars, as we called it. And there was all these super fruits. You remember that in the very early 2000s? Olive oil and its components had just suddenly become aware to not only science, but to medical, to doctors, to everybody. Common belief, olive part in the Mediterranean diet for thousands of years has surpassed most other cultures. And we know that because over there in Italy, and there's those places called blue zones. That's where Treviso's in one of those blue zones. A blue zone's where people live past 100. It's just common. And they're happy and healthy. They're not past 100 and decrepit. They're happy and healthy and lead vibrant lives. Now, empirical evidence. Olive tree products contain powerful phytonutrients, and they offer superior nutritional. And that's what Oliabo is about. And that's a made-up word. I'll let Gordon on Tuesday night explain to you how he came up with that word. But it's a new standard of health. You're going to see today, new standard of health, like Ray said, shortcut to health people want, and a new standard of getting out of your financial pickle, your wealth. This company is doing it different. And it's that Mediterranean secret. The average Italian, 14 liters. Holy cow. I think about how many times I'd be on the toilet if I had 14 liters of olive oil drinking. That's what they do. You know, Gordon and Joe started every day. Their mother, while she was in Italy, every time they went on a trip, she sourced the best high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. And then when the other 9 months of the year they were in Canada, if those boys are Canadian, even though they live in the States, they were made to have high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. And she'd do the trips into Toronto to find it and source it. And they had to drink it each morning, drink a shot of it. Greeks, 20 liters. So here you guys, mostly American, couple of UK members early in the morning over there. I'm going to get you to drink 14 to 20 liters because Americans, 1 liter of crappy olive oil. I'm not going to go into that whole, you know, the olive oil business. You know, 90% of what you get out there is not extra virgin olive oil. None of it's high phenolic. So I've got two guests here. How about Dr. Paul Zazzle and Dr. Brad Weaning give you a little, and now look, they're not talking about our product. There's no endorsement. These guys have a channel. I'll give you the link to this clip. And I took out the good bite parts because they're very funny. They ramble on for 13 minutes. This is short.
Okay, so you did a deep dive on olive oil, right?
Deep dive.
Okay, not sure why, but maybe we'll find out. Welcome to Talking with Docs. I'm Dr. Paul Zalzal.
Dr. Brad Weaning.
So Dr. Weaning did a deep dive on olive oil, its benefits, and...
Okay, so now let's get to the health benefits. I'd say there are 3 kind of specific system-based benefits and then 2 kind of general benefits.
Okay.
So number 1,
the heart. Let's start
we
with
always
the heart.
hear about this,
Heart.
right?
That thing that pumps blood. No bones in it, so we don't really concern ourselves.
Right, so
too
everyone
much
talks
with
about the
things.
Mediterranean diet, and this is because olives are actually grown primarily in the Mediterranean.
Okay.
So these people eat the Mediterranean diet. They have a lot of olive oil, a lot of fresh fruits, nuts, seeds, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it helps the heart. How does it do this? So ironically, the oleic acid, or this monounsaturated fat, actually increases our body's ability, particularly the liver, to take up LDL cholesterol.
Okay, problem.
Yeah.
My cholesterol is going to go up. Why am I going to take olive oil if my cholesterol is
It's going to make it go down.
Okay.
Because the receptors on the liver that take up LDL actually get upregulated. So you take up more of the LDL out of the system, and it actually makes less LDL. Because a lot of our LDL is made by our cholesterol. So that's the number one benefit. It also increases your HDL a little bit.
so LDL is going down, HDL is going up, so that helps your ratio,
Helps
which,
your heart.
if you're one of the people that believes
Don't
the
get
thousands
people
of studies that are out there that have shown that's bad for your health, then,
Yes.
then you'll be happy with
Number 1, heart healthy,
Okay.
your LDL is down. Number 2,
Okay. My brain. Tell me about my brain.
Okay.
Are there any sort of mechanisms by which this could help brain health?
Right, so oleic acid, this monounsaturated fat that we talk about, helps stabilize membranes and neuron sheaths and structures that are critical for our neurological function. There are also some studies that show that people that have higher olive oil intake lower their amyloid plaques. So,
And you'll remember amyloid plaques are thought to be implicated in disorders like Alzheimer's disease and other neurodegenerative disorders. Okay,
Right.
So that could be helpful.
number 3,
Let's talk about inflammation. Inflammation is big. It plays a role in just about every part of body dysfunction that you can think of
Yep.
nowadays, from gut to our atherosclerosis,
Yep.
kidney disease. Inflammation seems to be the hottest topic in health right now.
sure.
So does this have any anti-inflammatory properties?
It sure does. So because of a compound called oleocanthal, which is what's called a polyphenol, it's an organic compound that has this benzene ring with a little hydroxyl group for those people that are super interested or trying to forget about chemistry. And oleocanthal helps reduce the effect of cyclooxygenase, which is an enzyme
Right.
that helps affect COX-1 and COX-2, just like ibuprofen.
Right. COX-1, COX-2. You may recognize some of the anti-inflammatory pharmaceuticals that you might use
Yep.
are selective COX-2 inhibitors.
Yep.
Or the generic sort of anti-inflammatories are COX-1 and COX-2 inhibitors, because the COX-1 and COX-2 play an integral role in the inflammatory pathway. So inhibiting their function reduces inflammation in the body.
So it has natural anti-inflammatories.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. All right.
And we
So-
know that inflammation affects our heart and our brain, right? So that's kind of comes
Yeah.
back to number 1 and number 2 as well.
So, anti-inflammatory is a big thing
Yep.
right now in health. The next one that you'll hear about, and everyone's talking about, is antioxidant.
Right.
And we even made a video on antioxidants.
We
okay?
did. And a lot of people are like, well, what's oxidation? What are free
Oh, we gotta
radicals?
go back to high
what,
school chemistry for that.
What does it matter? So in general, our electrons want to stay close to the nucleus, and they need to be paired. They need to
Right.
be in a stable formation. So when compounds have a single electron, that electron is looking to steal electrons from other things.
Yeah, you have a valence shell. When that valence shell is complete, you're stable, but you're trying to gain or give away an electron to have a stable valence.
Right. So extra virgin olive oil has something called hydroxytyrosol, which is an antioxidant. It has an electron that is relatively easily donated to help mop up these free radicals. And so what that does, it helps reduce the degradation of cells and or even our DNA, like helps reduce anti-aging properties.
Okay, so olive oil is going to keep me young.
It's good, yes, and it's going to reduce your risk of chronic disease.
Okay, so it has antioxidant properties.
Yeah.
So far we've covered some heart health, some brain health, some anti-inflammatory properties.
Yep.
We've also talked about
Give
antioxidant
me some of this
properties.
stuff now.
The next big thing that everyone talks about in health
Yes.
is your blood sugar.
Right.
Okay? And I heard a guy talk about that years ago, I think in medical school. He
Yep.
was saying, you know, this is going to be the next measure.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, way ahead.
Herschel.
Rather than just focusing on fat.
Herschel was his first name.
Yeah.
And he was, he just said, you know, glucose is not going to be like you got diabetes, you don't got diabetes. It's going to be like a spectrum of blood sugar.
Right, so a combination of what your blood sugar level is, how your body responds to insulin,
Yeah.
because even when you have insulin sensitivity, for a little while, your body just sends so much extra insulin just to get you that effect.
Right.
And so with respect to extra virgin olive oil, it actually improves your insulin sensitivity. So the amount of insulin you have and the receptors that it binds to uptake sugar from your bloodstream into the cell is upregulated, so it improves your blood sugar control.
All right, so safe to say your deep dive has revealed that we're going to get some heart benefits,
Yes.
some brain benefits, some
Yep.
anti-inflammatory benefits, some
Yep.
antioxidant benefits, and it's going to help regulate your blood sugar.
Honestly, no brainer for me. To the point where 2 days ago,
Yeah.
I drank a little bit of
I
olive
do
oil.
not doubt it one bit.
Who just got a master's degree in medical and biology. Besides, let me see, I know there's a Dr. Armando de Guzman. He's already got he's on the call, and a nurse that just came on. Those docs, they got a great channel. Thanks to Simone for sending this to me way back. But they just talked about cardio support. Everybody wants that, longevity. Everybody wants to live longer. Only if you're in great health and you're feeling good. No sense living longer if you're decrepit. Everyone wants a better brain health. I know I do. I need some better brain health. They've loaded the amount of stuff that's going through my head. I need to clear it all out and not get lost, right? And we know, I had a really good friend just recently. Some of you was your friend. He's early 50s. He passed away. Why? Because of beta amyloid accumulation in his brain. What's that, Dr. Armando? That's Alzheimer's or dementia. Digestive health, the brain-gut connection, so important. And inflammation, that's the key to everything. I know about inflammation. You do led the life I've lived and had many accidents I have. And I'll give you one hint. See that ibuprofen? We're going to learn about a few words here that are phytonutrients, polyphenols, and I'm not the doc, so I'm not going to spend much on this. But oleocanthal, that's one of the main ingredients in what you find in the olive tree itself. Talking about the tree, the leaves, and the pulp, and the seed, and the olive oil. We got to mute you guys, whoever's not muted. And that oleocanthal, that's like ibuprofen times 100. And I tried oleocanthal as ibuprofen, had a bad accident in Thailand, and I can't take painkillers, but I could not stand it. All my face was shattered. And I crushed ibuprofen with a glass and put it under my tongue. Like I remember those guys that take those nitrate pills, put it under your tongue when you're having a heart attack. And I did that and I couldn't do it. Why couldn't I do it? Because the second I put it under my tongue, this really strong pepper in the back of my throat happened, and it all come out. So I crushed another couple of them. I was in so much pain, wouldn't work. I did not know what was going on until I talked to Gordon and Ashley. And that is what oleocanthal is. And ibuprofen has that man-made, not natural. Natural is oleocanthal. Aluraprane, Vibascicide. There's a PowerPoint I made. It's in our team. You got the email. I made a PowerPoint of what these things do. And you can look it up. This was Ray's idea. Just go put in these properties. I decided just to do it I did it in ChatGPT and DeepSeek and what's Elon Musk's one that I use? I forgot. But you know what? They were so in depth. So I just went to Google and found really simple. Go look up these properties. If you're watching this on the replay on the YouTube, pause it and have a look, because it's incredible. I had no idea, and most of us don't. This is the gap. Oliabo is bringing that gap of ancient wisdom and modern day science and bringing it to you so you can have it. And we put it into a blend, a proprietary blend. Olivectum. There's another one of Gordon's brandings. So it's from the olive itself, the Vibascicides. It's from the Aluraprane, and that comes out of the tree's leaf, plus everything else that's part of this. And how's it end up to you? No, you don't have to plant an olive tree in your backyard. No, you don't have to drink 40 liters like the Greeks, right? You order Prima. You remember when olive oil, if you're old enough, came in a tin? It did in Australia. We used to get it in a tin. It's pretty rare. We couldn't afford it back then. Probably like today. I know it's very expensive here where I live. But it came in a tin. You know, one of the reasons it's come in a tin, when it's extra virgin olive oil, and especially if it's high phenolic, the moment it will lose, it becomes rancid very, very quickly. That's why yours stays on the shelf in the supermarket, because it's not pure. So we keep this in a tin, and then you're not drinking it out of the bottle like you saw Dr. Brad Weenie do or say. It comes in 2 pills. You see there are 2 green, see the capsules that look like an olive? This is part of the branding. And they're chock-a-block full of high phenolic, extra virgin olive oil, the olivectin proprietary blend from the leaf and the pulps, oleocanthal, oleuroprene, and all the other antioxidants to support your brain, your health, your joint, your cellular. It has grapeseed extract. You remember that company way back when, in the 90s, Pycnogenol, the first to do it? Well, grapeseed extract and lysoprene in it. Lysoprene comes from, that's the carotenoid in those really old good time tomatoes. When you bit in a hamburger and you got a bite of that tomato and you got a zing on your tongue, that's what that is. So you've got this here, all convenient in the capsules and in the 2 extra capsules. And here's more marketing, Little Italy's, right? Look at that. So the olivectin, the leaf extract and the fruit extract, and then also the rosa, the grapeseed and the lysoprene. So like Ray said, in the morning, you pop the lid off your tin in this great packaging. This is really good marketing, I tell you, folks. You pop it off the tin. That's what you're getting shipped to you. You have 30 of these little pillows, and you flip it over and pop out the pills and take them, just like capsule. That's the inside, right? We're going to treat our insides. We're going to work from the inside out, longevity. But you know, one of the things that's great about this, there's just a handful, couple on this call, that got some of this. They didn't actually get it in the capsules. They got a little vial of the contents, and they took it, and Ray did. And everybody noticed it within the day to 2 days. That's key. If you're marketing something and people notice it right away, that's really key. But here's something you're going to notice in 15 minutes. What is this? Flex. Ashley is the person that helped formulate this. You see, Ashley was using those ingredients, what we talked about, and Ashley runs her own healthcare line, but it's facial. It's all facial, beauty for women. How many of you, I haven't got time to look in the chat, but have you tried to guess her age yet? You're going to see her in a minute. So Ashley had a very, very, very bad back. She'd crushed her vertebra, compressed her spine, and she was always in pain. But she noticed, because it was rejuvenating her face, maybe this could help with my back pain. Just look, this is accidents, right? Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's synchronicity. So she tried it on her back. And all of a sudden, she realized she was pain-free. So then she got to work, and that's where Gordon and her got together. She contacted Gordon. They've known each other 18 years. Said, let's work on this. So now we got a transdermal flex, and it's an ointment. High phenolic extra virgin olive oil, olivectin, mangosteen pericarp, squalene, all these compounds, all the oleocanthols, everything to make an anti-inflammatory response. Then you have that great little bottle, and you take it and you put a couple drops in the palm of your hand, and you rub it in the palm to warm it up. And then you put it on. I did my elbow the other day and had a nasty fall, doing too much. Took the end of it off here, and you rub it on, and it'll absorb deep through the skin barrier and deep into the muscles to the joint. And within 15 odd minutes to 20 minutes, the people who are lucky enough to have this, Hearn and Lawless got such a great testimony with his old mother-in-law. One day we'll put him on here. We have enough time. And what happened? You find relief. Everybody finds relief. So there's a transdermal. How many people, we want to look after our health on the inside so we enjoy our lives, but how many people want instant relief? How many people, you don't have to be a sportsman or a ning-nong like me doing accidents. I'll probably injure myself at pickleball this afternoon. I haven't played for 2 weeks. I've been working so hard. Why am I working so hard? This, holy cow, we got something. So instant relief, that's a hot cake. That sells. People talk about that. Instant relief. You wouldn't believe what happened to me. They're just like, the mate says, well, hey, you're not limping anymore. Yeah, I got this thing called Flex. You just rub it in my palm, put it on my knee. My pain's gone away. Now, I'm not guaranteeing, but gotta be careful what we say. Now, gals, but I'm vain. I really am. I've worked really hard to keep this thing for 67 years looking okay compared to what I've done in my life. Who doesn't want to look younger? All of us do. And the key to looking younger is antimicrobial, hypoallergenic, reduced inflammation, antioxidant protection, and skin barrier repair. Ashley Brown, Vice President Skincare, and our web developer. You see, on the second call, I did a 2-hour call with Gordon months and months ago. Just me and him, Ray, having fun. Got to know each other. Nothing about business, nothing about paper, nothing. I just wanted to find out what this guy was. Found out we crossed paths back in the 80s. Got to get that person unmuted. And on the second call, Ashley was sitting 5-6 chairs down in the boardroom. And I said, and Gordon talked about my daughters. Like, wow, Brooke was watching, sitting with me. River was behind me. Brooke's 12. Wow, I can't figure, he's a funny guy. Can't figure out how good she's looking when you look like an old mountain goat. I made a joke. Well, look at you. You're an old mountain goat, and look at your daughter down there, Ashley. But I can't understand. I want one question. Ashley, come move up close to the camera here. I want to know why you've got your daughter as vice president. I thought that's a bit of a red flag. I laughed at me. I didn't think it was funny. I was like, I'm asking a serious question. I need to know if I can go out and promote this. I want people, we sell hope. We sell opportunity. We sell dreams. That's what we do. We give people hope to look younger, to feel younger, to be healthier. We also give you hope you're going to see later to get out of your financial pickle. An 18-year-old is vice president, and they laughed again. So Ashley spoke to me. 40, folks. 40 years old. There you go, gals. That picture was taken a month or so ago. But what? I want to look like that. I don't care if I'm a guy. I really do. I'll get in trouble now. YouTube block this. Visa Lux anti-aging serum with all of those components, plus the olivectin, plus here, mangosteen pericarp, and the seed oils, taking the oils out of the seed of the mangosteen. And they put it in, and you just put a drop, and you take away your smile lines. You want to look great? Now, how do we know this is going to be? Remember, we mentioned a little bit about the olive oil that you buy off the shelf. It's not really authentic. We know that. They've created the seal. You see, this all sourced. All of the olive and olive oil pulp and the leaf and everything is all sourced in that one region in Italy, in the blue zone, and then it's processed there. And that process to break it down and extract it is done there, and then it's shipped to the United States. And in Utah, they manufacture it into the pills, into the Flex, into the Visa Lux, and you get it. And you get this seal of authenticity on it. Ray and Joe and Gordon and Ashley, Curtis, they're adamant that this is the new standard, so you can be assured. This is a new standard in health. Oliabo. Now look, if you're on the video, and now grab your phones quick, snap this. This is the official Facebook page and their TikTok page and their Instagram page, and they're posting virtually every day. The guys on that team, you get on the tools, SurfingLife, filling your toolbox for success. Give you all the tools you want to need. Now, being a media company, that's right, Oliabo, Gordon Morton, the principal owner, owns a fabulous, go Google this and have a look it up. Fabulous media company. Be assured we're going to have the greatest tools to help us promote. Now, remember the lifestyle? We want to be healthy, but you know what? We also want to be out of that financial pickle. It's hard to be healthy. It's hard to do that if you got stress. And it's hard to enjoy your life if you're carrying that weight around. And the way the world's going today, it seems like more and more people got a heavier yoke on their shoulders. They're struggling. So if you're in business, stay with me, because I'm going to go quick here. I'm going to show you how you can get out of that pickle. You can make more than the minimum payment on your credit card. How about that? That'd be a first for a while for a lot of people. You might be a single mom here, or it could be single dads these days, right? And you're thinking about, wow, I'm not sure how much I've got in the fridge. I've got to look after my kids' health. I really can't afford good beef, can't afford super fresh vegetables, and you buy processed food or Hamburger Helper. How about having some extra income? $100, $200, $300, $400 odd dollars. You can have that in a week, or you can have it in a month. Not guaranteed, but how about you have that and you're able to use that to put real beef on the table instead of Hamburger Helper? Do that a couple of days a week. Make a difference in your family. Take your family on a holiday. Get out of one of those payments. I want you to think about, while I do this, think about something that's really bothering you, that's really dragging you down. It might be a pesky loan where you consolidated your credit cards because of some bank, and you went and did that and you put them all together and you got that loan, but then those banks all gave you more credit cards, and unwillingly you ended up with 4, 5, 6 more of them, and you're in twice the pickle than you're in before. How about getting out of that one? Or maybe it's your energy bill, or maybe it's your gas bill, maybe it's your internet. It's one of those things, or it might be a combination. We're going to chip away at them all the time. We're going to chip away at them and knock them all away, and we're going to do it with Premium Pay, and you're going to be financially free. And this is the power of simplicity. And I love pay plans. I love breaking them down. And when Gordon shared this with me, I'll be upfront, I was really concerned. I loved it, but I break pay plans. I love getting my team and me making money. I was really concerned that we would blow through it and they wouldn't be able to cope, but they do. And I'm so assured with it. And this is how a pay plan should be. You know why? It should feel like that, and it should feel like that through the simplicity. Me plus 3. Me, here's branding for you, literally. Me plus 3. It's that simple. Go out and help 3 people. Now, some people say, I heard one of my gals, Simone Turner, such a wealth of talent here for all of you. You know, I don't know my team. You got to learn out. We're all on the same team when it comes to the global and elite pools and the reward trips. And she said, you know, I don't know that most people, they could afford 3, right? They can't get out there and find 3. Let's start with 1. That's what she said. Let's start with 1. So you're going to start with 1. You're going to introduce them, and you're going to get paid through Sprint. See up here at the top, Sprint is like the old Fast Start. And you go out and you help a person come on board with a Prima. Prima is $110 and 100 points. Now, there's the first hint for you right there. It's not $110 and 50 points like most companies, big 50% cut, skim off the top. They all do it. Oh, we pay out up to 60%, they say. No, they don't. I love math. The one I'm in now for the last 8 years. Never been that way. Talk to the owner. I tell him, you know, you pay out 48%, you skim 52 right off the top. So you're paying out 48% of 30 to 33%. So you're usually getting around 12 to 17. That's how most people don't realize what's going on. This company going to find out because of what Gordon said in that clip at the start, transparency. And they're going to give you as much money as they possibly can, but the company needs to make money, right? Yes, we're in it for ourselves. No, we're not. We're in it for our teams. We're in it for you guys to succeed. But the company must make money, because if it doesn't, you know what happens. We see this so often in this wasteland that's out there the last 8 years. Owners get greedy. They pull the rug. We're all left not on the Pacific Island anymore. We're destitute. So $110, you get $25 Sprint money up front. That's 25%. Now, if you double down, these are all you personally enrolled. If you double down, that means you order minimum of 200 points a month. That'd be 2 Primas, or Prima, Visa Lux, and a Flex. You're more than 200 points. You can earn on the second level. So you help Bob and Mary, or Dick and Jane. Remember Dick and Jane saw their dog run? Here's Dick and Jane. You help Dick and Jane go out and help Bob and Mary. So you get paid $25 for Dick and Jane, $10 to them. 10%. That's only 35, Mal. They always pay out the 50. So it's a global pool. You're going to love this. There's an elite bonus pool. You boys that love and girls that love to build big, you get to participate in that one. And then there's an incentive pool. What's the incentive pool? He announced it last week, right? The incentive pool is when he takes certain amount of people, and it doesn't have to be the people at top, the people that deserve it, the people who are working hard, the people who qualify, and they go on reward trips. And I know this company's reward trips. You know, how could you say that? You know, we haven't even opened the doors, because these boys, when they had that last $1 billion company, they took twice a year, they took their team to a resort in Phuket, Thailand, and I lived 100 meters away on the beach in a fancy home, and they would come down and see me. It was Mangosteen Resort, and the way they got treated, my goodness. So double down. Here you are. The people go, I want to order 2 levels, plus I'm the only one in the family healthy. Plus, you know, I want to treat my insides and work from the inside out for longevity, but also I want to, I'm vain. I want my face to look better, or I've got aches and pains. I'm going to go, I can't wait, fix this. I got really bad, can't wait to use that flex on my hand and fix that mess. So I'm going to double down. What happens when a person comes in, they double down, $50 to you. And then on the second level, $20. You can pause the clip here. I'm not going to spend time on this, but you know what? It's on all the orders for that first 30 calendar month. A person joined today, 20th October. Hey, my birthday's coming up. 19th for you guys. Did you catch that? I'm a day ahead. You want to know the lottery? I already got the winning numbers. You want to see who won the horse races? I already know. I'm a day ahead. So on the day they join for 30-day calendar, any orders, they might order only one, but then they take it and they're like, wow, I noticed a difference in 2 to 3 days. I better get my spouse on this. I better get my teenage kids on this. And what I can't, if it's this good, I want to try that flex, and they order that. Every one of those orders, it falls into sprint category, 25% and 10, and the other 15% goes into those pools. So here's a really simple one. If you had an affiliate or a customer, we're looking after you as well. For all those customers or affiliate orders for their life in the company, they don't want to build a team, they want to use the product, you're paid 25% on their order. That'd be $25. And then that same 50% is paid out up through the field. So now let's get on to that. What's going to solve your long-term problems? That's our monthly residual income. I don't have a pension. I don't qualify. I've lived all around the world. So I have to make my own RRSP for you Canadians, or IRA, or 401k, or Social Security in Australia, and all those things. I have to do it myself. And this is going to solve it again and again and again. I've had some great luck, but this one, wow, I cannot believe how simple it is. Now, look, this looks confusing. I just want you to look at one level, 10% on the third level. You see, this adds up to 45, 5, 5, 10, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, plus the 5% pools, 50. They always pay it out. And it's so easy to hit this to Premio. I'm going to walk you through it. It is simple as, if you come on board, a person orders Prima, 100 points, $5. You're there first on your front, $5. Next person on the next level, $5. $10, $5, $5, $5, $5, $5. Somebody get a taste of pizza, huh? Little Caesar. That's it. It pays out this simple. Now you think about this. This is $5 per order and $10 per order getting paid out to you per person per month in your team, whether you brought them in there, whether they got placed from somebody in your team, whether they came from someone above. Yeah, that can happen. We have a holding tank. You can go out and it's for 60 days in the beginning. Maybe we'll go to 30 days later. You can build your teams. So look, if they are double down orders, which people will do, I swear it, once they see these products, and I'm going to share with you a little bit, you know, you say, I can't afford, look, I have empathy for the Aussies and the Canadians. I know $100 is like $140, $150 over there in your currency. But, you know, when you start with a double down order and then you bring people in, and we're in pre-launch, come opening day, you can have one heck of a check, right? You can have one heck of a check and cover your balance on your card. Now, same thing with a customer. They come on board, an affiliate, and the same thing happens. That 25's paid out. It's always, you're always looked after for having customers. But all 8 levels are paid out in the rest of the money. So remember this, teach 3 to build 3. It's that simple. I'll walk you through it. There's those first 2 levels. You're a person, you don't even have to order. You're a Bravo. And as a Bravo, without even ordering, you're allowed to get paid on your fast start, and you get, not in the fast start, but you get paid on the uni level on 1 level beneath you. But then you go out and you order and you get paid 2 levels. But once you have 3 people personally enrolled, so here you are, that's 6. I know. No, you don't have to order 6. I love couples. I'm a couple. We all should be couples. The family's key. So here we are. 3 couples are on board. They got a minimum 100.1 order, right? Prima. Teach 3 to get 3. So you've got 1,000 in your team. That's 10 orders, folks. That's 10 orders. 1,000 points in your team, 10 orders between These people, they could be all them. They could order a bunch, and 3 who get 3. It's that simple. Don't have to have that exact structure, but you'll be paid 3 levels deep. Now you're into that 10%. Now this is important. I really love what Curtis shares about this. That 10%, that's going to give you an incentive to get there, because that's double the money. That's double the money per person, per order, per month. Double the money. Once you're there, you're going to want your team to get there. So you're going to push down more levels, get them to get there, and look what happens. You're up to a quinto. That's 50 orders a month in your team. Teach 3 to get 3. These 3 teams have a minimum of 10 orders a month, and you're a quinto. Get to event. That's 20,000. 20,000 mil. Holy. I have no idea what 20,000 is. It's 200 orders of individual product. 200 orders. Now you're nearly to the whole pay plan, and you got 3 teams, and these are only 50 orders each. Plus you need 1 person or more. So now you've enrolled 4 people. Now, once you're here, I'm not going to give you any guarantee, but you're solving most of your financial problems at this level. 7 levels deep at $5, all of them, and $10 this one. With double down, that's 10 and 20. You're solving a lot of problems. So someone's going to say, wow, you just got new windows in your house? You got a new roof on your house? Or I see you guys went on a vacation for a couple of weeks. Yeah, we're in the Bahamas. How'd you afford that? And you tell them, because I'm looking so young, this product I take on the inside and I put on my face, you notice how good my muscles and joints are. I want some. Now you got 4 people person enrolled. Let's get to the top. This is where you start collecting this is the go to the beach money. That saying, I hate that saying. I always live on the beach. Yesterday we had so much fun. I was at the beach twice. It's just there. That's why I have these pictures up, because the sun's so bright coming through from it. I had to block it. That's it. 5 person enrolled, 3 legs. And that's 500 orders complete. 550 orders on one team, 200 in each other. See how simple this is? I want to show you that we never, ever leave any money on the table. They always pay it out. Now, in uni levels, there's sometimes, remember, like Keith, you know this, at the end of the month in that company we were in, all the people are calling and everybody, because, oh, you haven't qualified, and this person, because they're not a director 2, you're not a director 1, and because the other way around, they're not a director 1, you're not a director 2. That means that the regional manager, that means that the ambassador, holy, I hated that nonsense. An order comes in and it pays. And if the next person's not qualified, it moves up to the next one. They're not qualified, it moves to, it just keeps on going. So here is 8 levels paid out, but it's 4 levels. There's 8, it always compresses from the furthest down. Look, this explains it simpler. You could be, even though we have 8 level, uni level, and I've experienced this, you'd be getting paid 25 levels deep, 75 levels deep. It will search all the way through it to get all the way there. My little one loves to learn. She wants to see what I'm up to. Now, here's something you haven't never seen. It's a new slide for you. You have horizontal compression. I asked about it. You went, Mel, I'll explain it and I'll show it to you. Remember the 3 legs? You go, man, I've never got a leader to go out and get 50,000 or 20,000. You be wider. Why are you going to be wider? When you got a product, what am I now? 30 something wide, I think. Yes, I'm going to move all the teams when we're allowed to and compress them all, but you're going to end up with more than 3 legs. I guarantee it, because it's just such a great opportunity. There's so many leaders coming on board. We're assembling some of the finest crew in that network marketing, direct sales, MLM arena of the people and quality coming to this company. So what happens is the company's computer will take all those horizontal teams that have got smaller volume. You can see here, and they won't get taken and placed under people. You can do that physically. Yes, you can in your back office, but to come the end of each month, all that extra volume out there in the fringes, it will make up and get added to the lowest teams to make your volume to qualify. These boys want you to qualify. And by getting to Premio, now you're in the 5% pool. Last week I had Ray talk about it, and it was only 3%, but I experienced it. Randy Gage, those boys used to come down from that Zango company to my house. I was thinking I'm doing pretty good, making about 50-odd thousand of my big fat check each month was matching bonus, 50 grand matching bonus. So you imagine what my check was. And they'd come down and they had checks in the 300s, 400s. And it's not once a year, folks. This is every 90 days. You put your head down, tail up, do a 30-day blitz like we're doing now, and then reap the rewards. Put your head down, tail up, and do another 30-day blitz, and then do another one. 90 days will go so fast, and guess what? You're going to get a great big fat check. Global bonus pool. And the reward strips, that's what that elite pool's for. And that money goes towards taking you guys, and he mentioned it last week, that first trip. And I put out that post. Who's tripping with me? Because these trips are great. That's all part of this, right? Reward your family. You're working hard. You know, you gals that work hard in network marketing, and a poor old husband feels like you've left him, and he never sees you. You're so busy on the phone. Dinners are late. You go, sweet, we just got a rewards trip. Plus, I got my global bonus pool. Come on, let's go for 5 days to Atlantis in the Bahamas. Well, come on, let's go do whatever you'd want to do. Oliabo. What I just showed you is powered by this. It's always got to be powered by something unique, something that works, something that gets results, and something people want. Prima, Visa Lux, Flex. That's the start. More to come. The new standard in wealth, the new standard in health. And Joe, Gordon's younger brother, not by much, world-class athlete. He lives on these products. His age in the 50s, world-class Ironman. It's safe to dream again. There's some good friends of mine this call from that other company, and I mean it. It is. Remember that? We had such a great run there. Safe to dream again. The new standard, but there's only one reason it won't work for you. You got to get involved. I'm going to turn this back over to Ray. You've got to make a decision. I'm going to change my health. I'm going to do it with a product that works. So when it comes to ordering, there's no ordering now for all you brand new people. It's free to join. I hate saying that, but it's free to join at the moment. You'll get a link. There's no you'll get a back office. There's no replicating websites and that yet. They're made. It's just, you'll get that, and you can go and start sharing. And when you share this, 3 who get 3, I made a clip. I decided not to release it yet. I'll do it later today for you all. 3 who get 3, and come November, be on Tuesday nights, corporate call, 9 p.m. Eastern, with Gordon, Curtis, Joe, Ashley, help. Sometimes Adam's there, and present, do their version of what I just gave you, and make some announcements. I know there's going to be a great announcement. You could have, come opening day, the end of that week, your sprint check could be 10 times what your initial order is. But it won't happen unless you, what? Get involved. I used to talk about race cars. I talk about all sorts of things. But you know what? I'm going to turn this over to Ray. I'm going to stop sharing so you can see him. He's the guy that gives you the real reason.
Malcolm, I appreciate you so much. I know everyone else does. You make the presentation fun. Network marketing is fun. I've experienced it for 40 years. It's pretty incredible. Simone, thank you, dear, so very much for helping out here tonight with this Zoom. And Malcolm or Simone, if either one of you can, I was watching the chat. For some reason, when the 2 doctors were talking about the extra virgin olive oil, the volume was so low, hardly anyone could hear. If it was like me, they couldn't hear at all. So if you can put up a way to access those 2 guys' website, if you could throw that into chat, it would be great.
I'm going to put the link in the chat for the clip that I made from their big, long 15-minute clip.
Perfect. Folks, let me ask you this question. Do you think something's going on here? I can tell you for sure. And I could sound just like everyone else that you've heard in this industry. I don't mean to, but anything I say sounds a lot like what you and I have heard many times. You know, just if once in your lifetime, if you'd have just a little bit of faith in people, God gives us discernment, I'm not going to take you to church, but we often know, we just know when somebody's telling us the truth. I want to encourage you to just understand I'm telling you the truth. Been at this for 40 years, and it's not just about the money. I'll make more money here than I've ever made in my 40-year career. I know that, and so will many of you tuning in here tonight. Money's the least of all values. Unless you don't have enough of it, it becomes very important. It's about the only thing you can think about 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. when there's people that you love and you care about that depend on you. That's where I was 40 years ago, just a poor boy, born in a house with a dirt floor in a little dusty town in southwest Oklahoma. Met a man by the name of Jim Rohn, and he taught me this. And many of you have probably heard this story so many times you think you don't want to hear it again. I think it's so important. That's why I say it all the time, because it's the very thing that took me from poverty to fortune. He said, Ray, if you find the right opportunity in the network marketing industry at the right time, and you built your business as if your life was hanging in the balance for 90 days, it could set you up for the rest of your life. I did not know any better. I was as green as they come. I had no self image, no self respect, but I just believed in what he told me. And I got involved in this industry, went for it hard as I could for 90 days, just like the man himself said to do. I never forget it. My third month's royalty check at that time, 40 years ago, was in excess of $5,000. I wasn't rich. I felt like I was rich when you're dead broke. I was way behind in all my bills. So I learned something very early on 40 years ago. If you do indeed find the right company at the right time and you built it like your life was hanging in the balance for 90 days, it could set you up financially for the rest of your life. It did me. I applied that formula 4 other times in my career, or 3 other times in my career, and it's just incredible. Took me from poverty to absolute fortune. There's nothing I wanted. It wasn't an amount of money. I just wanted my children not to have to repeat the things that I had gone through in life because of the lack of money. It's an embarrassing thing for children, and I wanted my kids to not have to experience what I had. So, whatever your reason is, if you just bring your why, you bring your why and commit to us for the next 90 days that you'll build this like your life was hanging in the balance, even if you got to pretend that it does. I promise you, you'll never regret what I'm telling you here tonight. This is the one not to miss. This one's going to be the next giant in this industry. This industry is way beyond the time for a new company to come along and become the next poster child of the industry. That's what Oliabo is going to be. I know these people. I know their heart. I know what they care about. They care about you and I. They care about world class, life changing products. They care about rewarding us properly. Please, I beg of you, don't miss this one. Give it everything you got. As I said, the Club 1000 is closing quickly. Probably will be 1,000 strong by tomorrow. So encourage you tonight. It's not too late. Call your friends. Call the people that believe you. People that like you and the people that trust you, and invite them to the company call coming up on Tuesday night. Malcolm and I will be back here on Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Gather up as many people as you can. Your business will grow. I mean, literally like a grass fire. This thing is going to be something not to miss. I promise you, don't miss it. I had 1 week worth of this product, and that's all that I had. Changed my life for 1 week. I thought, wow, if this is an indication of what we have our hands on, you know, this product's going to speak a whole lot louder than you and I ever could. So we got it all. Knock thumbs up to you, brother. Hey, everybody. Listen, I enjoy being here. I encourage you to develop relationships with your friends. That's what we do. We're just professional visitors, you and I. I promise you, if all this compensation plan discussion and all these things are a little bit complicated to you and you're wondering whether you can do this, I promise you can do this. We know exactly how you can do this. And before this company goes live, we're going to put together, Malcolm and I, and some other guests as well. We're going to put together a little short training of just exactly what do you do once you've got your foundation in place. How do you put your foundation in place? Let's get 7 friends that like you, believe in you, and trust you. Let's get them invited to the information. We've got your foundation. We can tell you exactly what to do with that to get yourself financially independent. Malcolm, I appreciate you so much. Simone, thank you. And thanks, everybody. Can't wait till we travel the world together.
Thank you, Ray. Adiamo, folks.